Good afternoon and welcome to HQ Roundtable, episode number 30. Today's edition is with the Meet the Candidates. So we're so excited to have with us today Mistie Hammond from Alaska. We have Renee Fulk from California, Debbie Burns from Nevada. And Debbie, do you prefer Deborah or Debbie?
You could do Debbie.
Okay, good. And Jeanette Garcia from New Mexico. I figure I better get it right the first time or I'll call you the wrong thing all the time. So,
Okay.
I am Panteleakos. I am the National Secretary Treasurer, and we also have staff in the room. We're going to begin by asking some questions that we told them about ahead of time, and then we're going to switch over to some questions that they don't know about. If anybody is out there and watching, and you have some questions, send them in. We will have Chris read the questions first. I will repeat them, and then the candidates will answer them. The way we handle this is we start at the far end, and Mistie would get the first question, and then we'll start with Renee to get the second question after all four have answered the first question. So we do the same format every year. We're very excited to have you all here. And we did switch them up a little bit because typically they go alphabetical by last name. This time we did it alphabetical by department. So, Mistie, the first question is for you. What made you decide to become a candidate?
My desire to be a candidate wasn't for the title, but as much as it was a dream. I wanted to be able to be part of a bigger picture with the organization and be able to help the veterans, families, community, and the membership. And it was just with the mentors that I've had in my life and family and membership in Alaska has pushed me to go ahead and try and fulfill my dream and be part of this organization on a totally different level than I can do just as Department of Alaska.
Okay. All right. So same question to Renee Fulk. What made you decide to become a candidate?
My decision to become a candidate started when I was the department president in 2012-2013. During my time in office, I became aware of skills that I did not know I possessed. And I did not, until I took on the responsibilities of becoming the department president. I felt I would be an asset to the organization. I decided not to pursue this decision right away because I wanted to expand on my knowledge and experience of the national organization. It was not until 2018 when I was the VFW ambassador for Betty Puppy and National Home that I felt I was ready to take the next step and to seek the endorsement from my department.
Okay. All right. So next up, we have Debbie Burns from Nevada. What made you decide to become a candidate?
My inspiration was when I was a young girl. I was a junior girl in California, and I decided to become a candidate so that I could serve our veterans more with their families. When my best friend had passed away in Desert Storm, I knew that I needed to keep her heart alive in me, and I wanted to give back more. She sacrificed so much for my freedom today that I enjoy, so I wanted to bring that forward. And I have a tireless energy, passion for this organization, and I felt that I can straighten the families through direction and through the assistant programs. And it's been a very humbling reward to be part of this organization. When I was department president, I knew then, after the leadership and what we did in Nevada, that I could also bring it forward through the national organization. So I focus on the bylaws and with our organization and the members, and I feel that I could be very capable and valued through the organization.
Okay, thank you. So Jeanette Garcia from New Mexico, what made you decide to become a candidate?
I've been very honored to be in the positions that I have held. And once I was in those positions, it was, what else can I do now? How can I help others? How can I continue to help? So a few have said, why don't you run for National Guard? At the beginning, it was, no, I'm not ready for that. That's not something I want to do right now. But as I thought about it a little more, and looked at my experience and what I had accomplished, and knowing that I wanted to continue to help auxiliaries and departments and be part of that, I really took the time to think about it. Decisions that I make aren't taken lightly. This is life-changing, and it affects a lot of people in my life, not just personally, but the department and other states, everything as a whole. So I really had to look inside. Was I ready? Did I have the experience? And can I do this and be successful in doing this? And can I really help others? So I really looked at that and felt that at this time, this is what I wanted to do. And I know that I can be successful in this, but also by helping others to be successful as well in their auxiliaries and the departments and working with the members.
Thank you. Okay, so this time we're going to start with Renee Fulk from California. And the question is, why do you feel you are the best candidate for the position of VFW Auxiliary National Guard?
After I completed my term of office as department president, I wanted to gain more experience and knowledge at the national level. So I decided to run for national district council member and was elected in that position. After observing the council prior to my election, I opted to be an active council member where I would ask questions and engage in debate that came before the National Council. After that position was over, then I decided to run for the National Home Board of Trustees representing District 12, where again, I wanted to be an active member of the board by asking questions and engaging in debate at the board meetings, as well as serving on the committees of finance and marketing and development. These two elected positions helped me to be better prepared for this next step and to be a candidate. I also believe that these two positions led to other national appointments in the organization. So that is why I believe that I'm the best candidate for this position.
Thank you. Next up, we have Debbie. Why do you feel you are the best candidate for the position of VFW Auxiliary National Guard?
I've been a member since I was a young girl. I learned how significant this organization was and how to support. We provide direct changes in lives of veterans and their families. Nothing is more important to me than serving and assisting those who have fought for our freedoms. I have dedicated my entire adult life to this organization with passion and timelessness and devotion and leadership. I am ready to take this position with the passion and leadership at the next level. I firmly believe that the ideas and leadership skills will enhance the work of those above me and to continue to drive, to transform, and change the future for these reasons. To rekindle our original purposes and the heart of why we joined the auxiliary. Some of us have forgot why we joined. To straighten the partnership between the auxiliary and the VFW, to ensure that we work side by side in the programs and our goals, to embrace innovation and to make the organization more digital, efficient, and connected. Because growth requires change, and change done right brings a stronger future. And this is why I believe that I'm a better candidate.
Thank you. Next up, we have Jeanette. Why do you feel that you are the best candidate for the position of VFW Auxiliary National Guard?
I believe I can see the bigger picture of the organization, how to lead, listening to our members, and making the best decisions for the organization. It's not only having the experience, but it's having the heart and the passion for this organization and knowing the mission and the goals of what has been set forth for us. Working with our VFW, we're stronger in our numbers. So working together is really important. And I've been able to do that. Being in those positions that I have been in before, I was a national council member and I have been a department president, and seeing the workings of the national organization. Again, believing in our organization and what we stand for, knowing what our bylaws are, respecting each other, respecting our members, and just really listening to them and what their ideas are and their thoughts. making change when change is needed. It takes different qualities to be a leader. And I believe I have those qualities and that I can continue to move the organization forward while respecting, listening to others, and having them respect me as well for what I believe in. So I believe that that's what makes me a strong candidate.
And Mistie, same question. Why do you feel you are the best candidate for the position of VFW Auxiliary National Guard?
I believe that I am a strong candidate for National Guard because of my desire to make a difference with also upholding the VFW auxiliary bylaws and rules. I am committed to our veterans and families. I went through not knowing how to help my sister when she was deployed, and it was a helpless feeling, not knowing where she was, if she was coming home. And I want to help families not feel helpless in that. And our auxiliary can do that. We just need to be out there and help them and let them know that we're here to help them. I am constantly willing to listen to our members. I want to strive to advocate for positive change and willing to learn right upside with all of you guys. None of us know everything. So it's a constant learning and a constant pivot that we have to do to keep this organization going strong. And I feel that I can help with that and also bring in some new ideas that might help our auxiliary and organization grow as the years go on.
Okay, so question number 3, we will start with Debbie Barnes from Nevada. When you were department president, please share a special accomplishment or event held during your year and explain why it was special.
That was a really good question to ask, and I was very honored to have this question. Reflecting on my presidency, there were so many different accomplishments that were met in that year and achievements through my tenure. So I couldn't come up with just one. The one that stuck out the most was when I first started, and my commander, Bill Pierce, put us and gave us a competition and said that if we would make 100%, he would give us an ice cream social. So with that said, I went back to the department and I said, you know everything that I believe in, and you know I believe in the B, and that Bill was putting this together. And if we made 100%, I would come in the convention in my costume as the bumblebee. So we accomplished so much more than we ever thought we could. Membership was through the roof. The team worked unchallengeable together. At the end, I thought it was over. They went out and they got 46 new members on a weekend. They accomplished more than a team could have ever asked for. So I came in the bee costume during the convention. We got the ice cream social. We made 100%. Standing before those members and congratulating them when we reached that milestone was the greatest honor I ever experienced. The accomplishment was not only demonstrated by power of teamwork, but it demonstrated and understood the importance of celebrating and collective success and recognizing dedication of each member. This was the most special because not only did we make Circle of Excellence at National, but we hadn't done that since Cindy Kaminsky, which had been a few years back. This was the highlight of my year, to take that honor back and let them know that all their hard work was a success.
Yeah. Okay, Jeanette, now it's your turn. When you were department president, please share a special accomplishment or event held during your year and explain why it was special.
I think this is a little bit different, but as department president, you want to have the best officers and chairmen. I am not a micromanager. I gave my ideas and my thoughts to my chairman and my officers. We went over national programs, we went over goals, and I let them run with their programs. In the end, we did amazing at the national level. We worked with many hospitals. We provided support for patients. We worked with veterans and families. We worked with children. We provided the support that they needed. It's really important that it was important for me to be able to provide that assistance to the chairman in order for them to provide what they needed to auxiliaries. And then in turn, auxiliaries did the programs and became successful. It's looking at all the programs that we had to look at, meeting those goals and the mission of those programs, and knowing that we were successful in every single one that we reached out. There was outreach. We met the goals. We talked with veterans. We talked with families. We listened to what their needs were. And we met them, not met them halfway. We met those goals. And we were very successful during my year. So I'm very proud of the chairman that I had, and that they were able to be that successful in their programs. And I trusted them, I respected them, and I didn't have to worry. I knew that they were going to be able to succeed, and they did. So that was really important to me.
Thank you. Okay, Misty, your turn. When you were department president, please share a special accomplishment or event held during your year and explain why it was special.
My year as department president was special the whole year through. I don't think I can pick just one specific thing. We worked really well with the comrades. We made all of our goals, raised a lot of money for the special project, which was the Armed Services YMCA Food Bank, and both J Bear and Wainwright got thousands of dollars donated to them. I went from having my school of instruction and homecoming to a horse being tied up outside because it was a Western themed homecoming, to being able to share all of my accomplishments with my membership. And I would have to say that Alaska is a tough state. A lot of our auxiliaries are very rural. We have Nome and Ketchikan and Kodiak and Bethel, and you can't just drive to those places. And a lot of times it's a lot more expensive to fly in-state than it is to fly from Alaska to Florida. And it makes it hard for those members to come in for, say, our department convention or mid-year conventions or school of instruction. So being able to go out and visit them and look at what they have accomplished in their communities was an amazing opportunity. And I was so honored to have been able to have that time with them and give them a little bit of glimpse of, we are here with you, even though you may be off the grid. We do support you and we are thinking of you. So I'd have to say that that was probably one of the biggest accomplishments in my year, is being able to visit all those members.
Okay. And Renee, when you were department president, please share a special accomplishment or event held during your year and explain why it was special.
During my year as department president, my department commander, who is my husband, we both became aware of a 10-year lawsuit that was about to be heard by the Supreme Court regarding the Mojave Cross. The Mojave Cross is a World War I memorial located outside of Barstow, California, in the Mojave Desert, which is federal land. The lawsuit started when a federal employee became offended and filed a complaint that a cross was raised on federal land. The lawsuit started, after a long battle, destruction, and theft of the cross. A gentleman and ranch owner, who is also the caretaker of the memorial, agreed to a land swap with the federal government, in which an acre of land around the memorial was dedicated to the VFW Department of California. A decision was made by all involved to rededicate the land and the memorial to all living and deceased veterans. This was accomplished by a special ceremony that was public. The department commander, with my assistance, sorry, this is emotional, with my assistance representing the VFW Auxiliary. This place will always be special to me because a simple yet impactful memorial is also special to the community surrounding it, and a constant reminder that we always need to remember.
Thank you. So The next question is one of the ones that they were also prepared for. And after it goes through this one, then you've all had a prepared question asked first. Then I'm going to mix it up a little. So, Jeanette. So, Jeanette Garcia from New Mexico. How would you lead the national organization in reaching out to younger eligible veteran families?
Well, many of our younger families are on social media, so we would need to start with social media and talk about the organization, talk about eligibility, what we can offer and the benefits that we have. I would also say that our younger families need to share their stories. If they're currently members or not currently members, how do they make it work? They have jobs, they have families, children, and if they're currently in the organization, what do they do to be able to go to meetings, even though they have a family? What do they do to make it work for them? Have family-centered events, ice cream socials. They can have holiday craft nights, back to school events. We have to look at the families and what they need, what their needs are. So it's really listening to them. Introduce projects. Maybe some projects can be done at home and not necessarily there at the post or within the community, but they can do things at home with the family and be part of the organization still. What other opportunities can we provide for students? That way they can build relationships with other children of families there at the VFW. Partner with schools, look at youth sports, community events, set up tables for information in regard to the auxiliary and the VFW. I think more and more it needs to be social media, and it has to be family centered in order for us to entice them and have them volunteer and listen to what their needs are, what they would like to see from us.
Thank you. Mistie, how would you lead the national organization in reaching out to younger eligible veteran families?
So it's no secret that this is a passion of mine. Having the younger members come in and reaching out to our younger youth is the future of our organization. If we don't reach out and get them in, we're not going to be here necessarily in 50 years. So we need them to carry on this organization. Now, with that being said, a lot of things, I agree with Jeanette, is the technology and social media. That is where our younger generation is. Everything is on the computer, screen time. So being able to try and keep up with that, help the organization stay on top of any of the new trends or things that the younger generation is looking at is going to be a huge thing that we're going to have to keep up with and try and stay on top of. Now, it's not always easy and it may not always work. Something that may work in one department may not work in the other, and something that may work in one auxiliary may not work in the other auxiliary across town. So it's going to be a constant battle just to help keep the younger generations coming in, leaving the doors open, making sure the opportunity is there and letting them know that we are willing to listen. We're here to help. And if there's anything that they would like to try or come into doing, just be open-minded and let them have that opportunity to voice that with you. I think is going to be a big thing, is keeping our younger members involved and retain them. If they feel like they have a voice, they're more likely to stay. And let them know that we're here to help. We're not just a place to go and hang out. We're here for our veterans and their families and the community, everybody. So I think just reaching out, letting them know that, and that's our mission, then I think that'll bring a lot of them in.
So Renee, how would you lead the national organization in reaching out to younger eligible veteran families?
I believe that we need to acknowledge every generation of members, that they have something to offer and share with other generations. And all skills, experience, and knowledge are a benefit to others, from technology to organizational knowledge. Younger auxiliary members can relate to younger veteran families in as much as they're experiencing day-to-day life challenges with work and life balance. Generations such as boomers and legacy members generations are helpful in as much as helping our younger members to know and understand why our bylaws and our traditions are so important to our organization. I think of it in terms of training the trainers. So I would like to work to develop teams of younger recruiters to target younger veteran families that have been properly trained and mentored by legacy members to be able to reach out to those younger families.
Okay. Let's see. Debbie, how would you lead the national organization in reaching out to younger eligible veteran families?
Reaching out to the younger eligible veterans and their families requires us to meet them at where they're at today. A lot of them are digital, sociable, and they're out there where we're not looking for them. We need to stay rooted on the mission and the values of the Veterans of Foreign Wars and its auxiliary. My approach would be to monetize and resurface a lot of the auxiliaries to have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, because this is where our younger group is at. Some of our families are also living their lives, so they say that they don't have time, but we can reach out to them and let them know that in the auxiliary, if we put more of the school activities in there and that we teach them that we're part of them, they would understand and have more experience with us. Families are juggling their careers and children and school activities every day, and that's a life challenge. They need to know that as a member, there's family benefits, there's support programs, there's scholarships and chances to connect like-minded individuals to understand their experiences. We need to focus on family-friendly events like barbecues, more community activities, school drives, and children participation. I know at my post, we don't do the children as much as we should anymore. First impressions matter. We should make joining easy and welcoming and not make it hard. However, we must ensure that there is a plan for mentoring and educating the new members for a purpose. We should encourage spouses directly at the veterans events and during transmission from active duty. Make it clear that we are there to help them. Some have lost their focus, and younger members don't seem to want to come because they feel that they're not part of our organization. We need to build on that and make them part, show them where we can meet them with all of the activities that they have with their children.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now I'm going to mix it up a little bit. So I'm going to start with you, Misty, so you get the first
Okay.
question that we don't know about already. So, membership not included. What is your favorite program and why?
Membership not included. Okay. So, like I said, no secret. The babies are my favorite. So I love youth activities. I've been department youth activities for many years, and I was also national youth activities chairman under Sandy Kriebel's here. And they're our future. I love that program, and I will continue to be part of that program. So I would have to say that's my favorite.
Excellent. Okay. Let's see. Renee? I know I have to jump on my page. Membership not included. What is your favorite program and why?
My favorite program is Veterans and Family Support, because that is the reason why I joined this organization. Was I wanted a worthwhile organization to become involved in, and something that I could do with my veteran husband. This program speaks the core values of what our organization is and why we're really here, or why I'm really here. So that's my answer.
Very good. Okay. Jeanette. Nope, wait a minute, Debbie. Membership not included. What is your favorite program and why?
Well, mine is Veterans and Family Support too. And it's been a passion for me. Like I said, when my girlfriend passed away in Desert Storm, I thought, what way can I give back? And Veterans and Family Support is very big in my heart. Matter of fact, when our post in North Las Vegas closed down, I kept the veterans together. We lost our building. We didn't have anywhere to meet. Most of the things ended up in my garage. So to this day, I still have the food program that we service across North Las Vegas. We feed, I can tell you, probably over 25 a month, veterans out of my own garage. And we also get veterans off of the street, and we put a program together in North Las Vegas where we put them in their own housing kind of by the base. And to me, I feel that working with our veterans and their families, it's a strong program, and it works, and it's there for each and every one of us if we work it the right way. And I'm just got so much pride and honor to know that I can help a veteran, and that's where it comes from.
Very good. Okay, now Jeanette, it's your membership not included. What is your favorite program and why?
This is funny. They had veterans and family support. I'm with you on youth activities. I was a junior girl many, many years ago, and I was always excited to work with the auxiliary and the VFW and work the programs. I think we need to look at our youth more and really listen to them, because they have really good ideas on how they see the organization and how they can move programs forward, how they can help, who else we can bring in, the activities they want to do. They're very important to the organization. We need to have them by our side. It's sad that we don't have junior girls anymore or junior boys. We used to have that as well. But we have youth activities, and we just have to get them more involved and give them the education that they need to be part of the organization and really understand what their roles are. So I really believe youth activities is very important for our organization.
Okay, very good. So before I go on to the next question, I'm going to tell you mine. So when I first joined the organization, Americanism was my favorite program. I like to go out there. I like to go into the schools. I like the kids. I wanted to show my patriotism. But recently I've switched to legislation as being one of my favorite programs. And it's because of all the good we do by making our legislators accountable and trying to change things for veterans benefits. So I love all of your answers. And that truly is a personal question. Because like I said, if you asked me 10 years ago, my answer would have been different than it is today. So I'm really glad that you all answered that and you were all honest. And I think that was great. So this question we haven't asked yet either. So this one, we're going to start with Renee.
Okay.
And before I do that, Chris, take a look and see if there's any questions. And if there are, give me a signal.
Okay.
But I'll do this question next and then you can let me know.
Okay.
So Renee Fulk from California. What do you see changing in the next 10 years for our organization?
Oh, my.
Yes,
Wow.
this is a tough one.
Yeah, yeah.
Get your crystal ball out.
I'm seeing big change for this organization. I've been hearing little rumors about updates on the building on the auxiliary foundation. And I truly hope that there's more information that's put in there, especially in the areas, I don't know about any of you, but I've been on suspension teams and different types of actions, I'll say, in the organization. And one of the things that I would really like to see is more items for the toolbox to help these teams know what to expect when they're going out to. There's no two items that are ever the same. And you really have to be able to read those members and what's going on to be able to take the appropriate action. So I would like to see some more guidelines, and particularly not just suspensions, but in the areas of conflict resolution. We need to be able to give our department presidents the proper tools for them to help them deal with those types of issues. So I see those kind of things happening in the future, as well as this wonderful technology that we have.
Very good. Okay.
Thank you.
So next up is Debbie. What do you see changing in the next 10 years for our organization? I know this is not an easy one,
That's not easy.
especially when you didn't get to think about before.
But it's a good one. And I do see the organization changing. We have new faces at National, new people that have come in, and that's always exciting. Membership has changed over the years. And I do feel that the national bylaws are updating. They were updated not last year, but the year before. And that was a good update. There was some things that came out this year from the national president on the bylaws and stuff and how you manage when there's a conflict. No nonsense anymore. I like that. To me, I see that national has really looked at the organization, and I feel like there is rumors out there that there are things going to be changing, and changes is good because it helps the organization grow and it helps us understand more. And also with that, the tools, and we do need that, especially when we are doing a discipline. I know in my own state, it's difficult sometimes to discipline members or an auxiliary, to put them on suspension. So to have those tools and to make them easier for us and more understanding is a great value. So I do see those changes coming, and I think it is in the bylaws.
Okay. All right, Debbie, thank you. Jeanette, what do you see changing in the next 10 years for our organization?
I agree with the bylaws and changes that can happen or could happen with that. And we see that every year. We see different things going on. But I really believe that within the next 10 years, we are going to see our first male national president. And once that happens, I really want to see the changes they would like to see and how they see the organization. Not that we're really different, but we haven't had a male national president yet. So just waiting to see what their thoughts are and their ideas, what their changes are going to be for the organization. And it's going to be a really good day for the organization when that does happen. So, and I believe that'll happen within the next 10 years. So it'll be nice when it does.
Thank you. All right, Mistie, what do you see changing in the next 10 years for our organization?
I agree with all of the candidates. I think technology is going to be a huge one. We're going to need to see more probably Zoom meetings and more opening up to be able to let people log in and be able to watch meetings more on the technology base of things. Also, having a male president, I think, is going to be a big change, and definitely it's coming. It's right there. And there, as a male president, having their reaction and aspect and views towards the organization is going to be something I think that's going to lift this organization and help us move into the future, just having those different views.
Very good. So one of the questions that came on Facebook Live was about splitting the program of Buddy Poppy and National Home, but I did tell them prior to this that I was not going to have them speak on that. So we're going to skip that question. So thank you for asking it. But I'm not going to ask the candidates because I don't want them to pick one way or the other. And then, somebody that likes it or doesn't like it. And then I don't want anyone to not vote for someone because they feel a certain way with those two programs splitting. And not a lot of people know about the split yet because it was just announced at the Senior Vice Conference. So we are going to skip that one, but I'm going to ask you another one. This is similar to what you just answered, but a little bit different. What do you think, and I'll actually give you, I might tell a story in between because this one's tough. What do you think we do really well as an organization? What is something we can improve on or add to make us stronger? And some of you actually said that in the last question, but I want you to formulate some ideas. We will be starting with Debbie, but one of the reasons that I wanted to ask this question was I, as National Secretary Treasurer, feel that we try to improve every year. So we just recently had our Senior Vice Conference and we hoped it was better than Lois's, who was better than the year before that, better than the year before that. That's what we strive to do, make every year better. We build on the things that we feel that we do well, and then we try to improve on the things we need to improve on. So is there anything that you feel that we as a national organization could do, what we do really well and what we could do to improve? So tough question. Debbie, we're starting with you. Debbie Barnes from Nevada. I usually say your full name when you're the first one. So.
Oh, that is a tough one.
It is a tough question.
Okay, how could I?
I might be tougher than the breaking up of the two programs.
So how can we improve on the national organization?
Yes, what would you like to see? What is something you'd like to see?
Well, and this is hard, and it does happen, the communication. Communication, sometimes, it goes to the president, but it doesn't get from the president down to any of the members. Sometimes when you have your council members, they don't give it to the state that they're representing. So I think that the improvement should be in more mentoring the council members and national on that issue, because I know when I was a council, I had to report to another state. But there's times when us as members, we have no idea what's going on with the national throughout the whole, year. And I get members that call me because I'm a past national rep, and they'll say, do you know about this? Well, no, because I don't get that information either. So basically, I really feel that there should be more mentoring through the council when they're in there through national, so that it's put down more into the membership of all of our auxiliaries, because it gets stopped. It just doesn't go on.
So that's good. And we have National District Council member training, so I wrote that down already. Now, Jeanette, what do you think we do really well as an organization, and what is something you think we can improve on or add to make us stronger?
I think communication is good. I just think that once we get the communication as departments, we need to make sure that that communication does filter down. And sometimes maybe we don't do that. But I think as an organization, you do really well with Facebook Live, with the magazine. And yes, some people aren't happy because they don't have the magazine in hand. But again, things are changing and we have to just follow with that. Excuse me, but I think communication is done really well through the national organization. What can we improve on? And maybe that's still communication. Maybe there's just certain things that we need to look at a little bit more, and just understand that maybe not everybody has Facebook. Like today we're on Facebook Live, but not everybody has Facebook. But they can look at other members and maybe they can help them see what we're doing today. But it's just improving on that and understanding where our members are coming from. But I think communication filters down really well from the organization.
Okay, all right, thank you. So now we're up to Mistie. What do you think we do really well as an organization, and what is something we could improve on or add to make us stronger?
I think we're really good as an organization with trying to stay up with the technology and getting information out. However, still with everybody, communication can always be better, right? And when a department or auxiliary has a problem and reaches out to national, I feel like some of that communication back from national doesn't necessarily get back to the right person, and it gets kind of lost in the transition. So definitely making sure that, it's going from national and making sure that that gets passed along to the auxiliary, to the member that may be having the question, can definitely be something that we could work on. However, I do applaud the organization for trying to move forward with this crazy world of technology, right? It'll be easier, they said. It'll make our life better, they said, right? Until Facebook crashes in the middle of Facebook Live, right? So that's always fun. Right. So there's always those little quirks. And I think National is doing really good at just trying to stay up with that and keep that going.
Okay, thank you. So Renee, it's your turn. What do you think we do really well as an organization, and what is something we could improve on or add to make stronger?
Well, I think what the organization does very well is in hiring competent, intelligent, and communicative staff. I have to say the staff has made this whole process of a candidate year very simple. We're always kept in the loop of what we need to do, where we need to be, and those types of things. I have also heard of how the staff have worked with the department presidents very closely on some issues that are going on in departments. And I have to say their expertise has been exceptional in helping departments through very difficult situations. Now, Anne, you're not going to like my answer to this part of the question.
Okay.
But I really wish that the commander-in-chief and president and all the other line officers could travel more together to really show a sense of unity to the members between the two organizations. And I know it's a big ask, but boy, that would just be awesome.
Very good. So just to let you know, most of the things, some of the things that you actually spoke about, we're actually in the process of looking at and doing. We are going to put some more training videos out on multi-member resources for every member to see, or for department treasurers or secretaries to see, depending on which thing that it falls under. We try to do checklists. So communication is something we are definitely working on. So I'm glad to hear that that's what you're looking at. And the traveling together, that's kind of funny because just recently we were working on some new budgets and we're trying to work on a few things like that. So we appreciate all of your responses. And thank you for saying about hiring the staff because I think they're great.
They are.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, well, first let me ask Chris, was there anything that came across?
Yeah, we've had a lot of good feedback. A couple of people have asked about difficulties, with members joining, and we're wanting to know what are some ways to make joining easier for prospective members.
Oh, okay. That's very good. So I'm not even sure how to handle that, but we could ask that question. And speaking of joining the organization, anybody that's watching this that's not already a member, we would love for you to join. So let's see, who am I up to? Debbie, did we start with you on that one?
Yes.
I believe I did.
Yes, you did.
So Jeanette, how do you feel we could do better at recruiting, and not just recruiting, but once we recruit them, to explain to them what they need to do to join? Don't just hand them an application. So that's the question. I don't know if I'll be able to repeat it the same all the way through. But Jeanette, we'll start with you.
I'm probably not the best recruiter, but this is what I do. When I'm out and about and we have a table set up where we're there to recruit, you have people come to the table. You yes, provide them with an application, but you really go through what we are about as an organization and how they can benefit being a member. You talk about programs, you talk about our meetings, how we work with the VFW, how important it is to work with our Congress members, what the buddy poppy means, because we have all this information out. It's just not the application, but we're really enhancing what we do. And we're highlighting our programs and items that are on the table. You really need to explain the organization to them. It's not just, hey, become a member, here's the application. This is when our meetings are. No, you really need to go into detail. You need to really talk to them about what we do and what our mission is, and why we are here, why we are an organization, and the bylaws that we follow. So it's really important that they really understand that before they actually apply to become a member, so that they really understand what they're getting into. And then later on, you can tell them, and you'll probably become the president once you're there for the first meeting. So it's important that they really understand who we are and what we do and how we help.
Okay. So Misty, what would you say as far as trying to recruit new members and then making the application process easier?
I agree with Jeanette 100%. I think we need to be just very transparent, letting them know about our programs, let them know what our organization stands for and why we're here, to help our veterans and their families, and just put that out there first and foremost, so they don't just think of us as a private club that doesn't really do anything, which unfortunately that's kind of what a lot of them think. And so I feel just being very upfront, transparent with them, giving them all the information of everything that we do, the stuff that we can do with our youth, the stuff that we can do to help our veterans and their families, is going to be huge at retaining those new members when they do sign up, because that's the big thing. We may get them to sign up, but are they going to pay their dues the next year? Are they going to go live? We end up losing a lot because they just don't really understand why we're here. I think that is the big thing.
Okay. So Renee, what would you do to better recruit and then help a new member to join and fill out the application?
Well, I remember several years ago of being out recruiting members and having a comrade by my side. So for me, the most effective way to recruit members is when a comrade is recruiting a VFW member and the family's there, and I catch the family when the VFW member is talking to the potential member for the VFW. So that, to me, that's the most effective way of recruiting, And if that VFW member becomes involved in the post, our post and auxiliary meet the same night. So, hopefully their family member will join them and come to our meeting. Another thing that I've experienced is my VFW and auxiliary, we do not have a post home. We meet in a community center, and it's a very generous community center. And we have quarterly potlucks, and we invite the comrades, family members, to come to our potluck. And we've gotten a few members that way, and we're hoping that they become active. But that's about all I can think of at this time. But it's recruiting is difficult. Getting them to be active is very difficult. And I just remember the other point that I wanted to make is I have always asked the commander of the post if I can speak to the comrades about the membership during one of their business meetings. And when I go, I have a stack of applications in my hand. And I said, we need your family members to come help our auxiliary. If you want this auxiliary to keep going, we need your help. And we need more auxiliaries that are active to help us with our programs.
Okay, thank you. So we have 9 minutes left.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you this last question. You'll have about 1.5 minutes to answer.
Okay.
That's the only time I'm going to do a time thing. And then I will end us with some announcements. So we're going to start with you, Mistie. What is the one thing you would like us to remember about you? So of all the things that you've said, what is one thing that you would like us to remember about you? Mistie Hammond from Alaska, we're going to start with you.
One thing to remember about me. If I had to ask you guys to remember anything, just hopefully remember me as being somebody that is driven and is here for our veterans, families, and all of you as a membership. I am here willing to listen, and I'm willing to stand right next to you and learn right beside you as everything changes or anything comes up. Ask the question, I'll help you try and find the answer. I am not just another member. I want to be part of this with you guys on this road as we carry this organization forward.
Okay, thank you, Renee. What is the one thing that you would like us to remember about you?
I would like everybody to remember me that I always smile, I'm a friendly person, and I'm a very good listener. It's really important to me to get the members' perspective of what needs to happen with this organization, and I am always open to hear suggestions and comments, everything you want to ask or know about the organization, or anything you want to get off your chest about the organization. I want you to know that I'm here to listen to you.
Thank you. Okay. Debbie Barnes, what is the one thing that you would like us to remember about you?
That I'm an honest person. Also, that I love this organization with all of my heart. That I have given 100%, like I said, of my adult life. And that it means a lot to me to be in this position. It's an honor to sit here in front of each member and to have you ask me questions. I would like you to remember that I'm here for you. If you have questions or ideas, I'm always out there to help. I help set up auxiliaries. I help in other states. I even bring food to other states. So if I get phone calls or anything, I'm always out there to help. And I just want you to remember that I'm there for you.
Thank you. Okay, Jeanette, your turn. What is the one thing that you would like us to remember about you?
About me, I have the heart and the passion for this organization. It's important for me to look and listen and observe before I make any kind of decisions. I want to see the whole picture before I move forward. That's why listening to you is so important, and knowing how we want to move forward. How are we going to get there? What are we going to do? So listening to you, seeing what you are doing, what we still need to do, and how we're going to do that is really important to me. And I think people can see that in me. I'm very respectful. I respect everybody around me. I respect the positions that you have and the things that you do. And I think that's very important in this organization, to have that respect for one another. And but I have the heart and the passion for this. And I just want to continue to see this organization move forward and to see everybody that's going to be successful. And that's including all our auxiliaries and our departments. And I want to help in that and help you do that.
Thank you. Okay, so it is now 5 minutes till 3. I think more questions came in, but they came in at the end. So I'm going to go on to our announcements. First, our national convention information is already on the website. You can find each of the candidates' brochures there, so you can look that up. You can print it out. You can just read it on the website. You can see all of their brochures there. You can see the tentative agenda, how to sign up for housing if you plan to go, and info about the city. So that is all on our website under events, and then national convention. In May, we're going to be rolling out a new website. So what does that mean for the members? Well, the website is going to change its look and feel, but only by a little bit. And it should be easy enough to find things. So one of the things that's still going to be easy to find is events. So you can look up and you could see where the conference meetings are going to be and how you sign up for those or who you reach out to go to a conference. All that stuff is there. It will still be there. It'll just look a tiny bit different. So that's going to happen sometime in the month of May. And then my last thing was I wanted to thank the candidates. So we reached out to you guys, our Facebook Live audience. Cortina and I did last time to say, do you want to see the candidates come out? Now, they were already coming, so we wouldn't have changed them. But we really wanted to know how you feel about Facebook Live with the candidates. And overwhelmingly, the response to us was, yes, bring out the candidates, because if people can't make it to national convention, this was their only way to see them. So we are very glad that you could make it. So I'm going to introduce them one more time. We have Mistie Hammond from Alaska. We have Renee Fulk from California. We have Debbie Barnes from Nevada. And we have Jeanette Garcia from New Mexico. So to all of you out there that are watching, we thank you. We are grateful that you are there. And for all of you that will watch this not in real time, we thank you for tuning in and getting to know the candidates. Thank you. We, during our Facebook Live, have missed asking one of the candidates one of the questions that I asked to everyone else. And in order to be fair to all the candidates, we are asking it not live now and hoping that we can add it to the end of the Facebook Live. So, Debbie, I am so sorry I missed this. How would you improve recruiting and making it easier to complete the application?
You would have to encourage our members more. I feel that when we're doing recruiting, that some of our members are not trained in recruiting, so they don't know how to do it, so they're afraid of it. So if we were to take more mentoringships with our auxiliaries and our departments and do more training with it, they would feel more comfortable in recruiting, because recruiting is the lifeline of our auxiliary existing. It's something that if we don't have, we won't exist. So with that, membership is very important. It's not any more important than any other program, but it is a very important program because membership is what keeps us alive. And with that, I think that we should have more training in it and make the application more understandable. I understand it, but some of our members don't understand what they're supposed to put on that application. So it is very important that we do spend more time on training on that application so that members understand what our organization is about.
Okay, thank you, Debbie, and thank you all.